So hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So guys, recently the NABARD examination, that is the phase 1, has taken place. So most of you guys might be in some dilemma that whether we should start preparing or we should stop or we should hold our preparation, we should wait for the result and then we should start the preparation. But guys, I will suggest you one thing, that the best persons who will be clearing the examination will be those students who will be starting preparing. They will be accelerating their preparation when the result will come out, but they will start preparing their preparation. If your examination could not go well for this year, then also I will suggest don't get disheartened. There are a lot of exams that will be coming in the coming months. So guys, on that specific things, if I talk about the topic of the day, the topic is very important for the NABARD phase 2 examination also, as well as for your other examinations like RBI, SEBI and NABARD. The very important report that I will be covering today within the span of 10 minutes, that is in the coming 6 MCQs, I will be covering the very important report that is being released. This Human Development Index report for 2021 has been released. Yes, this is correct. It is the report of 2021 or 22 that has been released recently by an organization. If I talk about this specific topic, guys, as I am discussing with you in the earlier sessions also, the topic is relevant both for your phase 1 and phase 2 examination. Now, without wasting any time, guys, let's start with the first question of this report. That is, and before proceeding with the question, I just want you to note down your scores and tell me in the comment box how much marks you have scored in this specific session from this specific report. Let's try to analyze yourself. Okay, let's try to do something new so that you could also enjoy and we could also help you better. So comment me your score, how many marks you have scored in this specific lecture from this specific report. Now, let's start with the first question of the day. The first question is, who has released this specific report, or which institution has released the Human Development Index for the year 2021-22? So the answer here is, guys, that is option number C, that is United Nations Development Program has released this specific report. Now, here is one point where you might get confused. Don't get confused with Human Development Index and Human Capital Index. See, अगर मैं बात करूं डेवलपमेंट की, तो डेवलपमेंट कौन करेगा? United Nations Development. But when I talk about Human Capital Index, it is being released by World Bank. So this is something very important that you guys must keep in mind. तो याद रखना, capital पैसा कौन दे रहा है? World Bank. So from capital simply remember World Bank, and development who is developing, that is United Nations Development Program. Development कौन करेगा? United Nations, that is UNDP, and capital money will be provided by World Bank. So remember this trick. Human Development Index is being released by, that is UNDP, and Human Capital Index on the other hand is basically released by World Bank. So if I talk about this year's report, guys, this year report, if I talk about, it was released by UNDP and it has been titled. So I might be feeling that it is shared clear na aapko dikhe. So that's why I have clearly mentioned the theme, or you can say title of this specific report, that is Uncertain Times, Unsettled Lives, Shaping Our Future in a Transforming World. That is the title of the report, as well as if I talk about, it is a theme of this year's Human Development Index report. So this is something very important that you guys must understand. Okay, what is the theme? That is this specific thing is Uncertain Times, Unsettled Lives, Shaping Our Future in Transforming World is the theme for this year. Now guys, coming to the second question of the day. Second question, as we always remember, these kind of indices, the parameters are very important. Okay, so the question I'm asking is, which among the following are the indicators which are used for calculating the Human Development Index? I think this is a static question because actually जब भी आप पढ़ते हो तो indices are important. So which among the following are the indices here? So if I talk about here guys, that is all of these above are the indicators for the Human Development Index. So basically when I talk about Human Development Index, it is basically calculated on 3 dimensions, which are health, education and your standard of living. So these are the basically 3 dimensions on which your index is basically being calculated. Health, education or standard of living. Health, when I talk about health, is being calculated at life expectancy at birth. For education, we have basically 2 indices, that is expected years of schooling expected years of schooling when the child will be going to school, and mean year of schooling, that is the 2 indices for education sectors are there. And then for calculating the standard of living parameter or the standard of living dimension, it is being calculated on this specific indicator, that is the gross national income per capita that is being calculated in terms of US dollar. So ये भी याद रखना किस में कैलकुलेट होती है, it is calculated in terms of US dollar. That is important thing to remember here. So now if I talk about this explanation, if I further elaborate the things that I have discussed with you, basically the three indices are healthy life, knowledge, we can say education, and a standard of living. So that I have discussed with you, life expectancy is for healthy lifestyle, expected years of schooling and mean year of schooling is for knowledge, that is education, and for standard of living, it is calculated on gross national income per capita in terms of US dollars. So here I have presented with you the snippet also, which is explaining the same thing to you. Then guys, the next question is, the common question that could be asked is, which among the following country has topped this year's Human Development Index? Let's see how many of you get your answer right here. I am saying this again and again guys. Tell me in the comment box how many marks you have scored. Okay, the questions might be easy also for some. If you haven't heard, it might be difficult also, but try to attempt these questions. If I talk about this answer guys, answer here is option number B. Switzerland has topped this year's Human Development Index. It is followed by Norway. Okay, so if I talk about this specific index, is it okay? Overall, if I talk about the global findings of the report says that the global average score is around 0.732. Two primary reasons that has been highlighted in this year's report are that is your COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war. So these are the two important things that is important for our examination also. If you are attempting for phase 2 paper, these are kind of statements that could be asked in the paper. Okay, what were the two primary reasons behind all this thing, behind all the data that has been released by Human Development Index or UNDP? The two primary reasons are basically COVID-19 pandemic and Russia-Ukraine war, for which we can say that 90% countries saw decline this year in terms of Human Development Index score. So the reason, as I have discussed with you, that could be asked in your examination, because it might add that is inflation is there, Russia-Ukraine war was there, or they can ask any other tension can be asked here. But you should remember these two things, COVID-19 pandemic and Russia-Ukraine war. Okay. And if I talk about a large contributor, basically if I saw, it has seen a, if I talk about large contributor in terms of this year's HD's index, it was life expectancy indicator was the one of the major indicator which has seen a recent decline. Okay. Now, then guys, coming to the top 5 or the bottom 5 countries, if I talk about here. So top 5 countries, it is top by Switzerland, followed by Norway, Iceland, Hong Kong and Australia. These are the top 5 countries. Generally, if you look at the recent paper of the NABARD also in the phase 1 examination, what they have done, instead of asking the top states, what they have done is they have given the, if I remember some question, there was a question on the multidimensional poverty index, if I am not wrong. ठीक है, तो क्वेश्चन था वहां पे जहां पे क्या था, उन्होंने दो स्टेट्स, the top 2 states were mentioned there. They have asked you which was the third state there. So based on that specific thing, in the Human Development Index, they could ask you a similar kind of question that they might give you these top 2 countries and they might ask you the third country. So third country here is Iceland. So that's why these top 5 countries are important for us to remember. These are the top 5 countries. Now when I talk about the top 5 countries, when I talk about bottom 5 countries, which are the bottom 5 countries here? The bottom 5 countries are Mali. If I talk about at last, it is South Sudan, preceded by Chad, Niger, Central African Republic, Burundi and Mali. So these are the bottom 6 countries, but these are the countries that needs to be remembered by, that is Niger, Chad and South Sudan are the important countries which are at the bottom. So the question could be on top also as well as on bottom countries also. Now, coming to the India specific thing, if I talk about what was the rank of India, I think this is the easiest question from this specific lecture, because India specific rank ही highlight होता है. Whenever we read any kind of report, the most important thing that is being highlighted is the rank of India. So if I talk about this year India has been ranked at 132nd place. That is option number C. So this year India has dropped 2 places. It was at 130th rank. It has dropped 2 places and it has now come to 132nd rank this year. If I talk about the overall ranking of India, okay, so overall if we know India has been ranked at 132 place. So India is now in the terms of medium developing countries. So India has been ranked in the medium category. Okay, overall score of India is 0.633. Okay, and this is the important thing to remember. If they could ask you a question in which dimension or in which development country India is situated, it is situated in the medium developing country. Then the rank of or the HDA value, Human Development Index rank or human development index value of India is 0.633 is the human development index value of India. Now guys, let's further proceed, talk about the other findings of the India. The next question I'm asking you here is, according to the recently index, what is the rank of India as per the, or what is the finding of India for the life expectancy ratio? For life expectancy, what is the life expectancy in India in the year 2021, which was around 58.7 years in 1990. So this was again something important here is, guys, this year there is a proper, you can say, a comparison was there from 1990 to 2021. A full-on comparison has been given country by country. I will be discussing India-specific comparison with you also. Okay, what are the different things that have changed in this year's parameter from 1990 to 2021? This is something that needs to be remembered by us. So I will be discussing on that also. Now first come to this question. What is the life expectancy change that has been seen? That is from 58.7 years. It has increased to what it is. Answer here is, that is option number D. It has increased to 67.2. On the similar line, guys, those similar changes, I have framed another question for you. That is a statement-based question. The question here is, consider the following statements. Here I am specifying the comparison here, that is from 1990 to 2021. Which statement is correct with respect to the comparison here? The first here is, India's HDA value is now changed from 0.434 to 0.633. So 0.633, so we have just read, okay, that is the correct thing, but whether it was 0.434 at 1990, that needs to be remembered. Okay, mean year of schooling has changed by 3.9 years, and the GNI per capita, that is gross national income per capita, has seen an increase of around 268%. That is from 1990 to 2021. So if I talk about the statements here, guys, again I will say have a look at the statement, because this is, if this kind of question come, these are really difficult questions to attempt. If you do not know about the indices, you will not be able to attempt this kind of question. And these are kind of questions which we are expecting that might be there in the examination for the phase 2 examinations. So here if I talk about, guys, all the statements given here are correct when we compare India from, that is the Human Development Index of India from 1990 to 2021. All the statements given here are correct. Now first of all, let's discuss about the data that was presented here. So the data has been presented both for 1990 as well as for 2021 in the specific report. Now for us, this data, that is 2021's data, is very important here. When I talk about life expectancy at birth, it is 67.2 years. Expected years of schooling this year is 11.9 years. Mean year of schooling is 6.7 years. And if I talk about GNI per capita, it is around $6,590. So this is the important thing. This data is really important for us, because here you do not have to remember each and every data. Here we have to remember is what are the changes that have been made here. Still I will say you can have a basic look, but don't try to cram this data of 1990. The data for us that we need to remember is the important data of 2021. So when I talk about the changes that have been specified in this indices, if we look at the changes, it specifies to us that India's HDA value has increased from 0.434 to 0.633, which is an increase of around 46%. So 45.9 is given here, but if I talk about on approximation, it will be around 46%. Then when I talk about the mean years of schooling and expected years of schooling, both has seen an increase of 3.9 years. They both have changed by 3.9 years. So this is something to remember. Education sector overall kitna change hua hai? It is 3.9 years. Then when I talk about GNI per capita, guys, it has been measured that it has seen an increase of around 268%. That is really important for us. So this data is important for us. Okay? And guys, this was all about your Human Development Index report. We have discussed the global findings. What are the two primary reasons for decline in this year's Human Development Index? Who has released the indicator? What are the three dimensions? Under these three dimensions, what are the indicators from which this indices is basically being calculated? Then we come to India specific finding. What are the India specific findings here? And what are the changes that have been mentioned in this report from 1990 to 2021 that we have also discussed in this lecture for you. So this was about this Human Development Index. Okay. So now guys, one thing important. So to get the PDF of this lecture, what you have to do is subscribe to our Telegram channel, the link for which is given in the description below. So if you guys have liked the video, guys, you guys want to share the video with your other friends also, and you want to get yourself updated with the current affairs as well as the other materials that we are providing on our YouTube channel, you have to do just one thing: subscribe to our YouTube channel, okay? And you will get all the latest updates. And the material that we are providing free on our YouTube, you will be getting the PDF of this material on our Telegram channel. Now, a very important announcement for the students, guys. So, one very important announcement is, as we are expecting the PFRD examination. So now, guys, the PFRDA, we are running PFRDA Gold and PFRDA Silver package. So you guys can avail a very heavy discount here, that is a 40% plus an additional 10% off. You can avail on our PFRDA courses. What you have to do is use this code, that is PFRDA, for availing this special discount on the PFRDA courses. And for the students who are waiting for the RBI, NABARD and SEBI, there also we have something important for them. So for the RBI, NABARD and SEBI, we are running an important discounts on the combo courses of RBI, NABARD and SEBI. What is the combo course? That is flat 40% off plus an additional 10% off. You can avail on our these courses also, that is RBI, NABARD and SEBI. What you have to do is use the code, that is combo. So guys, that was all about the lecture. So if you guys have liked the lecture, guys, kindly like the session, kindly comment also, okay? Then guys, the important thing is, still if you have any kind of doubt, you could drop me an email at hello@edutap.co.in. You could even place us a call, or you could even arrange a mentor call for you at this number, that is 81462 So I hope, guys, the lecture is fruitful for you. So keep learning, keep preparing hard, keep working hard, and wishing you all the best for your examinations.